Hello, my Generation XAbs crew. So if you run across this channel, you're probably trying to find ways of getting into shape, maybe losing some fat, getting stronger, and you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, you're a Gen Xer. Today I want to talk to you about getting a DEXA done. And why do you want to get a DEXA? Because you want to have like a baseline. You want to know where you're at. What does a DEXA do? Well, first off, they're not very expensive. They're like 50, 65 bucks. And they measure your lean mass, your fat mass, your bone mass. So you can also learn about how much visceral fat you have and subcutaneous fat. And this will also help you not only just for aesthetics, but also for your health. So that way you know, okay, I have some visceral fat, I need to get rid of that. Your lean mass, it lets you know, whenever you start losing your fat, how much lean mass you're also losing along with it. So that gives you an idea, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Like say, for example, say you start taking some type of drug and it's for weight loss. Not only will it help you lose weight, but you'll also end up losing muscle. So taking a DEXA will let you know you're losing muscle and you're losing fat. But anyways, I tell people go, get a DEXA done so that way you know how much you weigh, how much lean mass you have, how much visceral fat, how much fat mass. And that way you can track in time, whenever you start your weight loss journey, how much of each, how many changes you had in each one of the different areas. So I've been doing them about once a month, and most recently more frequently, because the last one I took was on July 29th, whenever I turned 50. I wanted to find out if I can hit 10% body fat by the age of 50 and get the six-pack back. I'll actually just get a six-pack, never had one before. And I hit 10.3%, and I didn't have the body that I was looking for. I thought I was going to have more definition on my abs. So I said, you know what? Let's keep going down this road. Not only that, I didn't just say, let's keep going down this road. Damn it. I was already like, I'm locked in. I already know what I need to do. I'm okay with skipping fast food, junk food, not eating ice cream and cake. I'm actually able to fight off those urges. So I've been staying in a calorie deficit. I've been doing my workouts every day. I've been getting my steps in. So pretty much my workouts have been kettlebells 3 days a week and bike rides twice a week. And Saturdays and Sundays I do like a 4 or 5 mile ruck with a 35-pound vest or 32.5-pound vest. Recently I switched things over to just weightlifting 3 days a week because I've already lost the weight as far as my fat goes, and now I just want to start building muscle. So I want to get that V taper. So now I'm focused on pull-ups and presses and military presses, so I can get my shoulders, my back, and my chest to grow. And of course my calves. I'm doing some calf raises because I got chicken legs. So I'm going to begin a DEXA done tomorrow, and I'm going to determine, am I still on track? Has my body been fighting back and trying to retain the fat, or am I actually still losing weight, and how much visceral fat I may have lost, also how much subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous fat is fat on the outside of your organs, or the fat that you can pinch, and the visceral fat is fat that wraps around your organs, which is the bad fat. So it's all bad fat. So tomorrow we're going to find out, hey, you know what? Once you get to 10%, this is how much more in percentage of fat you can actually lose if you continue on the same path. Because there's a lot of videos out there that say once you get down to 10%, you're only going to be losing maybe a 0.5% per month or 1% of fat per month. And some people say it's even, a week you can lose up to 1%. If you look at my DEXAs, you can see within a 2-week change, I'll go ahead and pull up my DEXA. You can see whenever I was close to July 29th, I said, okay, I need to get another DEXA done because I want to find out how close I am, how much more aggressive I need to be in my exercise and diet. And that's a whole other topic right there. But anyways, you can see that I lost a good percentage of fat, and also also increased my lean mass, and also I lost some fat. So percentages went down, lean mass went up, and let's see here, I think the visceral fat also went down. So, but it's right here on the screen. So tomorrow I'm going to go get another DEXA done. Hopefully I will see myself in the single digits. and I'm at the point where, all right, I should have been able to see some abs and some more definition, and I'm not seeing the definition I want, probably because I have a lot of loose skin, because I used to have a beer belly, believe it or not. I used to weigh right around 200 pounds whenever I first moved to Orange County, and I started gradually losing weight, and then I was like at around 180, 185 about a year or so ago, and so that's where I lost the 30 to 35 pounds. So this is where I think I've been at my thinnest in my older years, and I'm doing it at the age of 50. So for all you guys that are watching this video that are, 30 to 60, it takes, give yourself a year and see the changes. If you don't start now, it's like you're gonna end up, a year will go by, and you're gonna be like, oh man, I was just thinking about this a year ago. Time flies, so you might as well just get started today. You don't need to have the perfect, everything doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to throw away all your junk food that you have in the cupboards. You don't have to, everybody says that, get rid of all the junk food, and what I did was I actually just started eating it in moderation until I went through it, because I don't like throwing food away. Just because something's full of carbs, I didn't, throw it away. I went ahead and ate through it. And I just made sure that I did it in small portions. So I'm going to get a DEXA done, and I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the results so you guys can see what happens whenever you're at 10.3% body fat and you're still working out and you're still in a calorie deficit. And I've been doing one 24-hour fast per week. So Sunday through Monday, I won't eat. So pretty much Sunday, last bite is around 8 p.m. First bite, again, is on Monday at 8 p.m. So that helps me get a good average on my calories, because I'll spread out the deficit throughout the week. So say, for example, on Monday when I finally eat, that day I burnt, let's just say 2,800 calories. And I eat 1,000 worth of calories. Then that means I have 1,800 calorie deficit. I'll go ahead and split that up for the following 6 days. And that's 300 calories that I can add on to my deficit each day for Tuesday through Sunday. My weeks run from, Sunday through Monday, I guess, whichever way you want to look at it. So you guys will get to see what happens whenever you're still at a calorie deficit, you're at this body fat percentage, and you're working out. It'll be very interesting, because there's a lot of online coaches that say you got to back off the exercise. You got to eat more to lose more. And, it's just, there's so much information out there. And so don't get caught up with all the information, just like the information I'm giving you here. Just start acting, make mistakes, run and stumble. That's what I did. And speaking of running and stumbling, listen to some of these online coaches. They all have a different approach and a different philosophy and a different persona. Now, I wish I could have afforded a online coach whenever I started my weight loss journey. Not just for the accountability, because I have been holding myself accountable, and also you guys are holding me accountable. That's why I started this channel. But because the information that they have, I was running and stumbling and learning along the way. If I would have had an online coach, I would have had somebody in my corner to make sure that I was taking the right approach, and I didn't have to go and white knuckle it so often as much as I did. So hopefully this video has provided you with some information about DEXA scans and a good way of approaching your weight loss journey, so that way you know where you're at and you have a good baseline. And the more information you have, the better decisions you can make. So I recommend getting a DEXA done. And thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you so much for subscribing. Be sure to hit the notification bell, so that way you know when I upload another video, because you'll want to learn about my next DEXA. And be sure to hit the like button. Support the channel by purchasing the merch, visiting GenXAbs.com. Whenever you're wearing the GenX logo, that's a little wink and a nod, letting people know that you got a 6-pack underneath that shirt. All right, you guys, I'll see you guys at the next one.